you can be the one to make a difference in the fight against breast cancer. Join Susan G. Komen, Northeast Ohio, and Cleveland 19, Saturday, July 23rd for the Akron Race for the Cure. Join Team 19 for special race day gifts. To register, log on to cleveland19.com. So then the doctor adds to keep in mind emotional swings can be so contagious. Just like happiness goes a long way, so does despair. So it might be a good idea to keep a bit of a distance from anyone who has a real tough time with a loss. Not that we're going to know much about that in the end, but just in case. Reporting live, CatherineBosley. And then there's this. We are following a circus tent collapse in northern New Hampshire that kills 2 people. More than a dozen others are in the hospital. Marley Hall now with the breaking details. Oh, this is some story. An Ashtabula man, overweight all his life, suddenly realizes in his 30s he won't have much more life if he doesn't make a big change. As everyone in his world would find out, once he decides to do something, oh, it will indeed be done. And in this case, it would mean knocking off more than 270 pounds. Another survey now on smartphone addiction. And this is pretty bad here. One company talking to thousands of people, 72% say their phone is always within 5 feet. 1 in 6 they use their phone while taking a shower, and 1 in 10 they even admit taking their phone to bed with them. Taking their phone to bed.
In the shower.
Yeah, the in the shower thing is just, I mean, you know.
Who needs a spouse?
Yeah,
Where do you get the phone?
Wait a minute. First Miss Piggy and Kermit, and now you're
marrying your smartphone, right?
In the shower, come on.
We begin now with politics. Imagine that. The first Republican debate is now in the history books, and the presidential contenders are back out there on the campaign.
That's right. Cleveland and all of Northeast Ohio in the political spotlight in the entire region. All right, 20 after 6 coming up next on 19 Action News this morning.
Temper tantrums like he has.
Oh, come on. I do not. I do not.
Some help for parents who can help calm those outbursts. And tonight, a matter of safety at your home. You always ask for identification before letting anyone in claiming to be from a utility company. Paul Orlowski found a Cleveland family who did just that, but ended up with their water shut off.
Getting answers. Paul Orlowski, Cleveland 19.
Well, the worker in question is actually an employee of Clear Reeds. That is a subcontractor to the water department. They, too, are required to wear shirts with logos. Badges are recommended unless they interfere in the work or get tangled and pose a danger. If asked, though, those badges must be shown to customers. All right, now on to this. Business is booming ahead of this summer's RNC. We learned today Canado Restaurant on East 4th is rented out from July 15th all the way through the 22nd. You know what else will be booming? Cell phone use. T-Mobile in town today, one of the providers making sure the network can handle all the congestion from all the visitors. They actually started last May.
And there is a lot of fun to be had in the flats just in time for the holiday weekend here.
Oh, yeah. The water taxis in Cleveland launched on the East Bank. Danny Carlson is live now with more on that and a new place to eat.
Now, that's a good story. That's a good Friday story. Very good.
Great day to be doing it, too. An update in Westlake now. Barrington Place Apartments was evacuated due to a gas smell on Wednesday. Well, today, a letter went out to residents saying the cause is a failed radon-type system installed back in 2010. This weekend, they'll put in what's called a vapor barrier system and some new monitors. All of the nearly 30 residents will remain out of their homes until Monday or Tuesday.
So what do you think, Jeff? Will we need the mowers or the plows this weekend?
Yes,
Plows.
Mowers.
Get them going.
Don't even say that. That is frightening because snow in May.
Oh, it's so hot out there. Right
people are going to start saying that, aren't they?
Yeah.
Not quite yet. And you're going to have to mow the lawn in between possible showers.
Pleasant Memorial Day 79.
That's wonderful. So much going on this weekend. Hope you have a great Memorial Day weekend.
Thanks for joining us at 6. CBS Evening News is next.
It's called the Brain Port, just FDA approved a few months ago, but this one very special Medina woman, she was one of the first to put it to the test with big success. And now she's desperate to also be one of the first to own one. At 21 years old, Sarah Bullington is seeing things a little differently.
It takes practice.
From complete blindness to being able to make out images like this letter L put in front of her, a device called the Brain Port working magic.
Very exciting. I mean, what I did first 3 years ago, it was like amazing. Like I didn't really think it would work like it did.
She was one of the first to take part in the device trials at Akron Children's Hospital, and she cannot get enough of it. Brings back memories of when she was able to see, like in this video when she was 3 years old when we first did a story on her going into surgery for a tumor on her optic nerve. Complications, though, would leave her blind and make her one of Denise DeFala's Wish of the Week children.
Donald Duck?
Yeah.
Yeah. Are they your favorites? I thought you liked Minnie.
I do.
You do.
The Disney trip, her wish come true back then. The brain port, her wish now.
I think a lot, 'cause I think it will help me, like, you know, get a job and just be more independent.
Basically, it's a pair of camera-equipped glasses which electronically transmit images to her tongue through a special paddle. And all that information goes to the brain to decipher.
And we know that other areas of the brain can take over for areas that are deprived by injury or insult. And so we're capitalizing on the brain's plasticity.
As much as Dr. Richard Hurdle understands the science, even he calls it miraculous. And won't forget the first time he had Sarah try it, making it through an obstacle course hallway on her own, as opposed to this. It was a different world.
Yes. My little girl could see again.
A computer screen shows what it's believed she sees as she reaches for her mom's face, working on spatial skills. Blurry, but beautiful. What about her, though? My goodness.
She's amazing. I'm so proud of her. Yes.
Proud of what she does despite her disability.
Necklace is beautiful. Thank you.
Like making and selling her own jewelry line without the brain port. So you can only imagine what the future holds for Sarah and many others like her when they get to take a brain port home. And this is where there's a problem. The brain port costs 10 grand. Sarah and her family, they don't have that money, so they're doing a few things to raise the money. A dinner tomorrow night at the Brunswick Eagles Pavilion, a fund set up at Merritt Bank, and a GoFundMe site. All of that information is on our website, cleveland19.com, and I'm posting it on my Facebook page as well if you want to help. In Cleveland's News Center, I'm CatherineBosley. The reality is, even when you feel okay, there could be underlying problems you don't know about. With that, we're asking the experts about simple challenges you can do yourself to gauge whether you need to take some real action or just make some slight changes. We all have different ideas of where health and well-being should be on life's priority list. And like our Jeff Tanchak, different ideas
Middle-aged, averagely fit person.
on just how healthy we are. But now an idea to get you closer to the truth.
I mean, I think it's a good idea to have some way you can check at home to get a general idea of your health.
Dr. Mark Meekum with the Cleveland Clinic giving a thumbs up to a 5-step test people are talking about. And Jeff is willing to go at it with me, starting with the tough one. So basically you're getting on your elbows, up on your toes. The plank.
You're able to use your muscles of your abdomen and your low back and can tell how strong your core is. Also good for balance.
And this test calls for holding. Starting now.
Starting now.
Yes, for 2 minutes.
2 minutes.
For 2 minutes. A pretty strong start.
You're getting a good shot of my.
Good.
You're getting a good shot of my muscles.
Getting past the first minute though, oh, the burn begins.
You're doing good.
Starting to break a little sweat.
But finally, we make it.
Thanks.
Next, what proves to be even tougher for both of us. Stand, sit, stand. The catch here, no hands and no knees, which would look like how Dr. Meekum's assistant Stacy shows us. All right, how hard is that?
Not that hard.
Well, we both get the sitting down part nailed. The rest, oh, not so pretty.
I can somehow do it like this.
And as for Jeff, well, he sure deserves an A for effort.
Oh, can't do it.
If you can't do it, it's time to drop some weight and get to the gym.
Third test, though, is where Jeff redeems himself.
I feel it.
Okay, and count.
Okay.
The resting heart rate comes in at 76.
Awesome.
He's good to go. Falls right in the preferable range of 60 to 80. Much more above that, it's suggested is worth a doctor's visit.
Heart rate is too fast. It means your heart is working harder than it should be.
Next up,
Now I got to tell you, I've had no complaints about my breath.
oh yeah, it's the breath test. And it's really about detecting diabetes. Run it down your tongue. Scrape it.
Like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. We'll let that sit for a little bit. So you're looking for a sweet smell.
You're looking for a sweet smell as a sign that your body's giving off glucose or sugar.
And believe it or not.
You don't want to smell this?
No, that's yours.
It smells like the bag.
Nothing sweet here. Finally, the clock drawing test. Big circle, you need a big circle.
Right.
It is more complicated than you think, and it often demonstrates something that you didn't realize was going on.
He explains it's really about picking up on possible dementia. No worries about dementia.
Not yet.
Some other worries, but not dementia yet.
Whew, that was fun. Thanks. Let's go work out.
Now, the doctor stresses while these 5 tests could certainly be indicators of whether or not there's a problem, well, there's nothing like those regular in-person checkups with your doctor to do the job. In Cleveland's News Center, I'm Catherine Bosley. Oh, this is some story. An Ashtabula man, overweight all his life, suddenly realizes in his 30s he won't have much more life if he doesn't make a big change. As everyone in his world would find out, once he decides to do something, oh, it will indeed be done. And in this case, it would mean knocking off more than 270 pounds.
The seniors gave it to me that year when I was a freshman.
Rodney Rapp, proud to show off his sports trophies and his memories from his younger years. Always a bigger kid than the rest. Always known, he says, to be pretty tough, too.
And I was able to take 4th place in the Tri-County area.
Wow. But as he looks back at his recent weight loss diary, even he didn't know.
You know, I'd list the calories.
He would be strong enough to take himself on.
It was very tough. The first 2 months especially, I mean, you're starving.
At 37 years old, he is at close to normal weight for the first time he can remember. It was less than 2 years ago he was at his worst.
It's probably genetics and overeating, obviously, had to have been.
So bad, he couldn't work, lived on disability, and was put on 12 prescription meds.
Couldn't do the things I wanted to do. Like, I just couldn't even just go to the store and walk around and shop.
It would be out of curiosity one day he would stand on the scale only to find the shock of his life. 480 pounds on a 5'5" frame. That would soon flip a switch, he says, where there would be no turning back.
I just was in the mindset where, you know what, I'm doing this. And I don't care what I have to do, but I'm gonna do it. And it's great once you get in that mindset, because you can do anything.
It would start in September of 2014. Turning to the internet to pick up some weight loss tips, he basically designed his own plan, which would start strictly with calorie cutting. 1,000 calories a day to begin with, and it was quick results. 20 pounds dropped in the first 2 weeks.
It really did become an addiction.
And eventually, he would be able to give exercise a shot. A lot of time in the Ashtabula YMCA, some of it on the elliptical, but most of his time with what's become his new passion, swimming.
And it's like I broke myself out of my own prison that I made. And that's how I look at it.
He would lose more than 270 pounds in a little more than a year to get down to 210. You can imagine how life-changing. But Dr. Bardo Bergera can only imagine what could have gone wrong.
It's potentially dangerous.
He's the director of obesity programs at the Cleveland Clinic. He can't speak much on Rodney in particular. He's never met him. But he can say there's a reason big weight loss needs to happen in little increments.
When you cut significant amount of calories, the problem is that you may not have enough nutrients, so you can really get in trouble with your heart and sometimes even with your kidneys.
Rodney says he had minimal medical monitoring throughout. Although he had no trouble, he admits there were times he worried he was in danger. Some days only eating 400 calories. So now he's all about learning not just more on how to do it right and keep the weight off, but also about how to eventually help others do it too.
The sky's the limit. You still can't wait to see that after picture, you know?
And Rodney says that's because the next big step in his journey is to get the excess skin removed, and we'll be following him through that too. But in the meantime, he's so proud to say he's off all of his medication and he has a job in retail that he so enjoys. For more information on extreme weight loss, check out our website, cleveland19.com. In Cleveland's News Center, I'm Catherine Bosley.